Have you ever heard someone say, "You've got a memory like a goldfish"? It's a phrase that gets tossed around a lot, especially when someone forgets where they put their keys or can't remember what they had for breakfast. But have you ever stopped to wonder where this idea actually comes from, or if there's any truth to it at all? It's one of those classic phrases people use when you forget something, almost like a gentle tease. The image of a goldfish swimming around in circles, supposedly forgetting everything every few seconds, is kind of funny. But is it really fair to our fin friends? But have you ever wondered if it's actually true? Or is it just another one of those myths that's been passed down for generations, never really questioned? Let's dive into the watery world of goldfish and find out if this little orange swimmer really has a memory that lasts just 3 seconds. Spoiler alert, you might be surprised by what we discover. First, where did this myth even come from? The idea that goldfish have a 3-second memory has been floating around for decades, maybe even longer. It's one of those things that people just seem to know, even if they've never actually seen any proof. The idea that goldfish forget everything after a few seconds has been floating around for decades. Some people think it started because goldfish often swim in circles, which makes it look like they're constantly discovering their surroundings for the first time. Maybe it started because goldfish just swim in circles all day, looking like they have no clue what's going on. It's easy to imagine that they're just endlessly surprised by the same plastic castle or bubbling treasure chest. But let's not judge a fish by its cover, right? Just because they don't have eyebrows to raise or mouths to smile with doesn't mean there's nothing going on inside those little heads. Scientists have actually tested goldfish memory using some pretty clever experiments. They wanted to know if goldfish could really remember things, or if the 3-second myth was just a fishy tale. They've trained goldfish to press levers for food, swim through mazes, and even tell the difference between shapes and colours. These aren't just simple tasks. Some of them require the goldfish to remember patterns and make choices based on what they've learned. And guess what? These fish remember what they learned for days, weeks, sometimes even months. That's a lot longer than 3 seconds, and it shows that goldfish are capable of learning and remembering much more than we give them credit for. One experiment trained goldfish to associate a certain sound with feeding time. The scientists would play a specific noise right before giving the goldfish their food, and the fish quickly learned to swim up to the surface whenever they heard it. After a whole month without hearing that sound, the goldfish still swam up, ready for dinner the moment the noise played. That's some impressive memory for such a tiny brain. That's definitely longer than 3 seconds. In fact, it's longer than a lot of people might expect from a pet that spends its day swimming in circles. So, why does the myth stick around? Maybe it's because goldfish are so common as pets, and people don't always take the time to really observe their behaviour. Or maybe it's just a funny way to poke fun at forgetfulness. Maybe because goldfish don't exactly have the most expressive faces. It's hard to tell what a goldfish is thinking when it's just staring back at you with those big round eyes. Or maybe it's just easy to joke about a fish that lives in a bowl swimming in endless circles. After all, they don't have much else to do, right? But beneath that blank stare, there's a surprising amount going on. Goldfish are constantly exploring their environment, learning about new objects, and even interacting with the people who care for them. Goldfish are actually smarter than you'd think. They can recognise their owners, respond to their presence, and even get excited when it's time to eat or play. They can recognise their owners and even learn simple tricks like swimming through hoops or playing soccer. Yes, fish soccer is a thing. Some goldfish have even been trained to push tiny balls into goals to swim through obstacle courses. And just like us, the more they practice, the better they get. With patience and positive reinforcement, goldfish can master a variety of tricks and tasks, showing off their intelligence and memory. So next time someone says you've got a goldfish memory, you can let them know that goldfish actually remember things pretty well. Probably better than a lot of people give them credit for. In fact, you might want to take it as a compliment. In fact, some researchers believe goldfish can remember things for up to 5 months. That's a pretty long time for any animal, let alone a little fish in a tank. That's like remembering your favourite vacation all summer long. Imagine if you could remember every detail of your last holiday for months. Goldfish can do just that with the right training. If you ever get a goldfish of your own, try teaching it a trick or two. Not only is it fun, but it's also a great way to bond with your pet and keep its mind active. It might take a little patience and some treats, but you'll be amazed at what your fin friend can do. Goldfish love a challenge, and they're always eager to learn something new. So is the goldfish memory myth true? Not even close. The next time you see a goldfish swimming in its tank, remember that there's a lot more going on in that little brain than meets the eye. Turns out goldfish are pretty sharp for their size. They're curious, adaptable, and capable of remembering things for much longer than most people realise. Maybe the real myth is that we ever doubted them in the first place. Goldfish deserve a little more respect, and maybe a few more treats. Thanks for swimming through this curious question with me. I hope you've learned something new about these amazing little creatures. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the amazing world of goldfish, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun facts. See you next time. And remember, Never underestimate a goldfish.